Hello, hi, my name is Godfrey Mo, my name is Flowcash, my name is Hashtag, my name is Nganamotswana, my name is whatever, man. Welcome to my HTML tutorials, Kasetswana. In the previous lesson, we talked about margin using these two divs, sample 1 and sample 2. In this lesson, I'm going to demonstrate padding, the difference between padding and margin. So if you followed me from the previous video, you'll probably get it better, but even if you didn't, it's okay, stick around, it'll all be clear. So I opened up in my browser. In the previous lesson, we talked about margin being the distance around an element, outside of an element. Now here, margin is that orangish like background. That is the margin around the sample div 1. Sample div 2 actually, and then the padding would be the distance from the margin to the contents inside that green line, not outside. It would be the distance inside of the inside of the element itself, not outside, as you see. So padding is that white line between the blue huge square rectangle and the 4 pixel solid green margin border. That is the padding. So if you had to type something inside sample div 2, it will only be within the blue line. Let me demonstrate what I mean and not do too much talking. So if I was to come here to sample div 2 and say and type take note of where this text starts and wrap around. I want it to be long so that you can see padding both on the left and the right around its container. Right, I hope, let me make that 2 sentences so that I be sure that it does wrap around the way I want it to. Alright, obviously there would be a paragraph, and then a paragraph would need to be closed at the end like that. And then I come to my browser, hit refresh, and then take note of where this text starts and wrap around this container. You see that text starts immediately after the border, and then there's literally no space between the T and the border. Alright, that is because the padding here is 0. There is no space at all. You see? Now if I was to add padding, let me add padding top. I'll first demonstrate with padding top. If I was to add padding top and make it only 10 pixels, I want you to see what happens after I make that change. You see that now? Take note, oh, I made it from the top, but text does not start from the top. Let me make another padding which will be obvious from the left. I want you guys to get this. That is why I'm trying to make it as obvious as possible. Now already you can see the difference. Take note of where this text now starts. There is a line right here. There's actually a huge space between the T and the margin. That is padding and that is the margin. Alright, I hope I do make sense, guys, because padding is the distance from the margin going inside that element, moting gayone, not kontle gayone. I hope I do make sense. If I don't make sense, I'm sure I will if you start this video again. So pause the video, restart it so that you get exactly what I mean. Now I'm gonna demonstrate padding. Right, you see, take note of where text ends on the right, where the text actually wraps. If I do that and make it 20 pixels, you see that now there is a space between off and this margin, but there was no space. So padding is the distance within, margin is the distance around and outside. Right, Cool. So now there's gotta be an easier way to do this other than having to write padding top, padding right, padding left. This is a bit too straining, hey? So there actually is an easier way. I'm gonna come back, let me close this, minimize it, come back to my Notepad+, and then come to my CSS. There is a better way of doing this. Bonare, I am being redundant here. Margin top 10, margin right 10, margin bottom 10, margin left 10. I could just go margin 10, and then my browser would understand that, okay, margin from the top to the bottom to the left to the right, it's all 10. If I go margin to, because let me demonstrate that. If I come back here and then I hit refresh, there's no change yet. The only change happened more the paddings, because it's okay to remove it, but there is no change. If I do come here again and do padding 10 pixels, that padding is going to apply all around this. Let me close this box model, I don't need it anymore. Now I'm just about to hit refresh. Take note of what's going to happen between this T and this browser, this OF and this this margin right here. I'm gonna hit refresh, and then bang, there's a distance, a bit of distance here, that is 10 pixels. 10 pixels, like I said, padding margin. Alright, so if you put one value here, it applies to both top, bottom, left and right, but you can put those values and then your compiler would still understand exactly what you're talking about. Then the first 10 would be for the top, it moves in a clockwise manner, then right, bottom, and then finally left. And then you could also do this, use two values, and then you'd have the first one being for the top and the bottom, and then the second one being for both the left and the right. Alright, I hope that makes sense. That will be enough for today. So meet me in the next video where we expand further on margin and padding. Remember, I told you, if you know margin, padding, height, float, and width, you can be a great programmer. In a few more lessons, I'll show you exactly what I mean. I'm going to use only these 5 elements and only these 5 elements to produce something great. So follow me, stick around, let's do this.